What's up, guys? M here with a special Showdown battle. It is the Halloween battle, and not only that, but you get two battles for the price of one. Now, just like last Halloween, I wanted to use a mono ghost team. I thought it was appropriate. But unlike last Halloween, where I just put a team together based on looks, this time I actually tried to put a little bit of thought into the team itself. Mono Ghost is pretty hard to work with. Not in terms of variety, in terms of effectiveness, but this team's actually not terrible. So before we get into the battle, I'd like to talk about it a little bit. All the way on the right, we got a bulky Golurk with Dynamic Punch, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Toxic. And the reason he has Toxic is because I wanted Rocks, but because I think Rocks were a move tutor move, Golurk does not get them this generation. At least not yet. So he has Toxic, and it's actually kind of cool with no guard because then it'll never miss. And I actually wonder if he gets Will-O-Wisp because that could be cool too, but I feel like he doesn't. Anyway, next to him, got a Scarfed Rotom. And I love Rotom's original form, but this guy is Scarfed, a Volt Switch, T-Bolt, Shadow Ball, and HP Ice. Next to him, the only Mega I've used so far, Mega Gengar, with Sub, T-Bolt, Sludge Bomb, and Shadow Ball. And this thing is just a monster. He destroys. Next to him is a bulky Sub Calm Mind Chandelure with Dual Stab. Not my favorite Chandelure set, but it works pretty well. Then we got a new Gen 6 guy. And it really doesn't get more Halloween than this guy. He's literally a ghost coming out of a jack-o'-lantern, and his signature move is called Trick or Treat. And what that move does is make the enemy a ghost type, which, as you can probably imagine, is pretty useful when you have an all-ghost team, because then you get hit normal types. This guy has Trick or Treat, Leech Seed, Shadow Sneak, and Sub, so he could actually Trick or Treat on something like Ferrothorn and then Leech Seed it. And then finally, we got Aegislash, and this is probably just the standard set with Swords Dance, King Shield, Sacred Sword, and Shadow Sneak. So that's my team, and now let's get into the battle. I'm starting off with my Rotom because I figured that would be a good lead. Go right for the Volt Switch, and it does not take out this Greninja. I really thought it would, but I switch into my Gourgeist just to take it. He gets up a Toxic Spike, as opposed to going right for the water move. So that was kind of interesting. But now he makes a double switch into Ferrothorn. I don't know why I was going to call this thing Rotom. But he switches into Ferrothorn. I don't know what he thought I would bring in on his Arcanine, but obviously I'm going to go Chandelure. I do end up getting Toxic, which kind of sucks. And here, I clicked Flamethrower, and then I canceled it to go Calm Mind, because I figured he would do this. But Showdown said, nah, we'll just go for the Flamethrower. So that kind of sucks because I could have just been doing so much more damage if I got the Calm Mind, then went for a Shadow Ball. That Shadow Ball does a lot to this Gliscor to begin with. But now he's going to do some Toxic Stall stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I'd rather just keep going for Shadow Balls because that's really going to hurt anything that he wants to bring in. This Mienshao almost gets taken out. If I had gotten up that Calm Mind, this thing would have been O-Code. And then he would not have been able to break my Sub. But, didn't happen. So, now I got my Chandelure. It's almost dead. And I really don't feel like saving it, so I'm just going to let it die to an Earthquake. And now I'm going to get my switch into Rotom. And I'm actually going to go for the Shadow Ball here. I don't want to reveal that I have the HP Ice in case I need it for later against this Gliscor. And now he's going to go for the Protect. I'm just going to go for Shadow Ball again. Not really sure why. Thought maybe he'd want to switch to like Ferrothorn or something. But he does go for the Protect. So now I'm going to go for the Golurk. He actually goes for a Protect again. I thought this time he would be switching to Ferrothorn. And now I'm just going to go for a Dynamic Punch. He could switch to Ferrothorn if he wants, or he could just stay in and get confused. He does end up switching to the Ferrothorn. So that's cool. And what do I do here? Oh, here I go into my Aegislash just to kind of scout what he was going to do. Because I can't get Toxic, so it would be a good switch. But he does go for a Leech Seed. So now I'm going to go into my Gourgeist. He's not going to really be able to do anything to me. I'm going to be already poisoned. by his Toxic Spike, so his T-Wave isn't going to work. Now he's going to go for Protect, as I'm going to try and get off a Trick or Treat. Because it's Halloween, and we're trick-or-treating right now. So I'm going to go for that. It ends up hitting as he goes for Rocks. And now that he's Ghost type, I'm free to get up my Leech Seed. But I don't do that because I think I predict... What did I predict? I think maybe I predicted the Protect. So I go into my Gengar, and I'm going to Mega Evolve and just sub down because I know he's probably going to switch. Go for a Sludge Bomb that almost takes out the Arcanine. He does get poisoned, and between the recoil and the poison, he's going to die this turn. So Mega Gengar is still looking good, but now he's in Gliscor. And I don't know if he knows that Mega Gengar has Shadow Tag and not Levitate, so I do not want to get hit by an Earthquake. I go right to Rotom, and now I'm going to reveal that I have HP Ice because I want this Gliscor dead. So he's out of the way, and now he's down to his last two guys. I can't do anything to Ferrothorn, so I'm going to switch back into my Gourgeist, just because I can basically take whatever this thing wants to do. I don't know, did he show, he showed Protect, Stealth Rocks, Protect, Stealth Rocks, T-Wave, and Leech Seed. So yeah, this thing cannot do anything to my Gourgeist. I'm just going for the Trick or Treat right now because I want to get off a Leech Seed on this thing. That'd be very helpful. And he's just trying to Toxic Stall me right now. It's pretty lame, but like I said, he doesn't have anything to touch me. So he probably should have just let that thing die and then gotten a free switch into Charizard. But he's trying to play around with the Leech Seed and stuff. I predict him to switch back to Ferrothorn. Gonna go for the Trick or Treat again. And this time I think I just go for the Leech Seed again because he's a Ghost type, so it's gonna work. And he goes back into Charizard, but now I think he says, okay, that's enough. He's gonna Mega Evolve into Charizard Y, which is pretty awesome. And here I thought he might, so I just stayed and went for the Shadow Sneak. But I'm not gonna lie, I like Charizard Y. I think Charizard with Drought is pretty awesome. But I do predict him to switch, so I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. Go into Mega Gengar. And I'm just going to go for the Substitute right now, because then Ferrothorn can't touch me at all. I didn't know if a Shadow Ball would take it out. But from here, I'm behind a sub. He can't do anything. He's protecting for no reason. And I am eventually just going to take him out. Probably with 2 Shadow Balls. Or with 3. I don't remember this match very well. I'm sorry. But there, get a Spit F drop, he can't do anything. And that's going to take him out. Sorry, got kind of boring there. But now I go for the T-Ball, take out this Charizard, and Mega Gengar just pulls through. Not just, he's pretty awesome. He pulls through a lot. So, that's the first battle. Now we got this other team. As you can see, it's pretty threatening. I wasn't sure if the Scizor, the Blaziken, or the Alakazam would be Mega. And you're going to see what happens. I think I lead off with my Rotom again. He just looks like the best switch. Go for the Volt Switch again, and does not take out the freaking Greninja again. But he goes right for the Dark Pulse, and I barely live that. This game just has a bunch of back and forth people barely surviving on things. He's going to go into this thing. There's no point in saving this guy. So just Shadow Sneak, get some damage. Now I'm going to go into Rotom. Got the HP Ice. This thing's going to get cleaned up. He's not going to survive that. Now he's got his Aegislash in. It's a good play for him. But I go into Golurk because I am bulky and I think I can take a +2 Shadow Sneak. And I do with 1% get off the Earthquake. That takes him out. But now he's free to go into Blaziken. And I just stayed into Earthquake because I didn't want him setting up any Swords Dances. But so far it's looking like this is not his Mega. So I'm going to go into Chandelure thinking I could take both his stabs. He ends up having the Brave Bird, but I do live with enough to go for a sub. I figured I would. I could have just went for the Shadow Ball right off the bat. But I didn't know if he had anything to hit me with, so sub was my best play at that point. But now he's free to go into Alakazam, and guess what? This is a Mega Alakazam. Look at that beard. Look at him juggling all those spoons. This thing is scary. So I'm going to go into Rotom. I'm Scarfed. I can outspeed. But once again, barely living. Rotom just having such a hard time cleaning up. But now I'm free to go into Aegis Slash. But he makes a good play. He goes into Scissor to take the Shadow Sneak, saving his Alakazam. But now I'm going to go for the King Shield to predict some kind of attack. He goes for the Pursuit, gets the attack drop. And now he's going to roost up as I Swords Dance. And I'm not really scared of this thing anymore. I got my Swords Dance. Sacred Sword does a lot. He can Bullet Punch, but I could take that easily. Even Pursuit wouldn't have done that much at all. So, Aegis Slash is going to be able to finish this one out with the Shadow Sneak. And yeah, those are some pretty fun games. Like I said, Mono Ghost is kind of hard to work with. So I would either get games where I got beat pretty badly, or I would win pretty easily, actually. So I tried to find 2 games that, were reasonable. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.